do with it. All right, you go swimming, all right? All right, Shalom. Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles and the bishop, elders, and great millstone for teaching us his word and truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, I'm the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with just a quick lesson. It was inspired by a lesson Apostle Tahar just did. He had brought out this book right here. Let me see if I can just bear with me, brothers. Let me see if I can fix the settings for this virtual background. Let me see. Yeah, so he had brought out this book right here. It's pretty cheap. You can get it online. You can get it off of Amazon right now for $7.19 off of Amazon. I bought this book some years ago, like almost 10 years ago. You know, I had this book, and it's a plethora of information. So that's why I titled this video, Our History is in Plain Sight. You just got to look. You know, Jake don't like going to museums. I love museums. I actually went to the museum, to the Met, with the apostles and the elders and the elder brothers in New York some years ago. I think it was like around 2016 or 17 or something like that. And I had a chance to go back recently when I was in New York City. It took me a long time to get back there. And even when I was in there, I was kind of feeling rushed. But yeah, you know, our history is in plain sight. You just have to see it. And Elder Apostle Tahar he was going in speaking about the Lashawan Kodash, how it's not a made-up language, regardless of what's this guy Vocab Malone says. It's not a made-up language. In fact, there's a video on YouTube. Let's see if I can find it. Just bear with me, brothers. What is it? Los Lunas Stone in New Mexico. All right, there's something called the Los Lunas Stone in New Mexico. All right, and there's a Salakia. There's a video of a let me see if I can share this real quick. Of an Edomite. I don't know if he's an anthropologist or a scholar, but he brought out this Los Lunar Stone with Paleo Hebrew on it. It's right here. All right. He brought this out, and he goes and he speaks the Paleo Hebrew, man. You know, but people like Vocab Malone, see, the scripture says, the simple believeth every word. Let me see if I can find that real quick. The simple believe every word. This is Proverbs 14 and 15 through 16. Actually, it's Proverbs 14 and 15. It says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his goings. In the NIV, it says, the simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps. All right. And as we are brought up in his faith and in his truth, we're brought up to be prudent. When you look up that term for prudent, what does the word prudent mean? All right. It says acting or showing care and thought for the future. You know, it says Judaeus, sagacious, shrewd, advisable, well advised. So, and you know, the simple believe anything. They're not well advised on whatever they believe in. You can just tell them anything, and Jake will just follow it. And 2/3 of our people are extremely simple. You know, it doesn't matter when the doctrine you come up with, they'll follow it. It doesn't matter if you got proof of it. If you don't, they'll follow it. But a prudent man, an individual who takes time to be well advised in his goings, he's going to look things up. He's going to search things out, and that's what we're taught. We're taught to be like the Church of Berea. You know, let me see. These were more noble than they of Thessalonica. This is The book of Acts 17, verse 4. I know you can't see it because I got this. I'm sharing the screen right now. Just bear with me. Oops. Let me see. Acts 17. I think I just X'd it out. Hold on. Just bear with me. Crap. Yeah. Just bear with me, brothers. Yeah. So, again, you can't see it right now, but this is the book of Acts. Acts chapter 17, verse 11. Okay, Acts 17 and 11. And we're going to get into the book in a second. I didn't really have anything planned. Spirit just told me to do this lesson. So it says, this is Acts 17 and 10. And the brethren immediately, this is Paul at Berea, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, whose coming thither went to the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those of Thessalonica, and that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily whether those things were so. Right, because the church of Thessalonica, they were just listening to Paul, they believed, but they didn't search out what he said. So Paul literally could have said anything to them and they would have believed it. But the brothers at Berea, they weren't like that. It says, and the people of Berea were more open-minded than those in Thessalonica. They listened, this is in the NLT, they listened eagerly to Paul's message. They searched the scriptures day after day to see if Paul and Silas were teaching the truth. And that's what the apostles and the bishop elders and the brothers on down, that's what they teach us. You know, when we first come into this faith, yeah, you hear it, you're like, you get that, you go through that parrot stage, but then eventually you get the scriptures and you sit in front of these computers or wherever you're at, watching and listening, and you go through the scriptures and you see if it match up with what's being said to you. All right, search things out. And Esau, he searches things out, unlike niggas. Excuse me for my language, but these the average Jake, they're not going to search things out. The average Jake is just going to go with whatever wind of doctrine is out there, and we're not to do that. And so here it is. This is video right here, and this is the Edomite. I guess he's an archaeologist or linguist, and it says the Los Lunas Decalogue Stone, Hidden Mountain in New Mexico. Todd Eaton, the guy, his name is Todd Eaton. All right, and so let me play a little bit of this.
See what I'm saying? For your sanctification or for you to sanctify? How do you translate that? It's actually the same thing. It's both. You're not supposed to say either or. You're supposed to see it as you sanctify it, you are sanctified. As you forgive others, you are forgiven. It's one and the same kind of thing. This is a neat kind of Hebraism that, you know, which makes translating 10 Commandments a very difficult thing because it has those turning points. Mm-hmm. For your sanctification or for you to sanctify. What is that? It's both. Neat. There is the dot. It's back. You can feel it with your finger. It's harder to see than feel, but it's definitely there. The dot's there. So if you just saw an image of this, you might think you missed the dot that you see so clearly here. You might think you didn't make it very good there. Mm-hmm. It's definitely there, though. It's definitely there. Everywhere at an end and the beginning of another commandment, mm-hmm. You see that there.
Yeah, this is Paleo Hebrew, and this is the Heavenly Father's name, Yahweh, and it says you have La'ah right here, L-A or La'ah in the Hebrew. And so when you look up, let's look up the Lost Lunar Stone real quick, okay? Because they don't teach you this in average school history class. You're not going to learn any of this in history class. A lot of this information is hidden on purpose, but it's hidden in plain sight. Okay, let me stop sharing this. And let me go to share the screen real quick. Right here. Okay. Okay, the Lost Lunas or Decalogue Stone is a stone. All right. It says the Lost Lunas Decalogue Stone. The Lost Lunas Decalogue Stone is a large boulder on the side of a hidden mountain near Los Lunas, Mexico. in Albuquerque that bears a 9-line inscription carved in a flat panel. The stone is also known as Los Lunas Mystery Stone or the Commandment Rock. The stone is controversial in that some claim that the inscription is pre-Columbian and therefore prove early Semitic contact with Americas, which those so-called Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Mexicans of North, Central, and South America, they're Hebrew Israelites. And here is this stone. And it basically has the 10 Commandments on it. Over the years, people have tried to destroy it. But even here, you can see the Lord's name clear as day. Yahweh. Yahweh. The name of the Heavenly Father. Okay? And it teaches you what not to take the name of the Lord in vain, not to covet after another man's wife. All of that's in the Hebrew. His name is here again right here, Yahweh, and it was written. All right, and so again, our history, our history is in plain sight, but you just gotta know where to look at. And now you don't have to go to these places, even though we've had brothers go to these places. Elder Kazak and Elder, I think, Bunyamian from Mississippi, they went, you know. So and they actually was there. I think another elder brother from Colorado and his son went. Okay. It says the reported 1880s date discovery is important to those who believe that the stone is pre-Columbian. However, Paleo Hebrew script, which is closely related to the Phoenician script, was known to scholars by at least 1870, thus not precluding a possibility of a modern hoax. Because of the stone's weight of over 80 tons, it was never moved to a museum or a laboratory for study or in safekeeping. Many visitors have cleaned the stone inscription over the years, likely destroying any possible ability for scientific analysis and inscriptions. But the point of the matter is that it's here in America. This is Paleo Hebrew. When you look up Paleo Hebrew, right, which I'm going to show in this book too, Paleo Hebrew. This is the images. This is Paleo Hebrew right here. Let me get a better one. Yeah, this is good right here. They call it Proto Hebrew or Aramaic, but no, it's Paleo Hebrew, or it's also called Phoenician Hebrew. All right, you got a good picture right here. All right, it says Ah, Ba, Ga. You know, this in the dialect that they're using is a little off, but you know, it's right here. Ah, Ba, Ga, Abba, Da, Ga, Ha, Cha, Ka, La, Ma, Na, I, Pa, Qua, Ra, Sha, you know, and so forth and so forth. All right. Paleo Hebrew in America. All right. And so when we go back to this book right here, this book that I'm reading from right here, just bear with me, brothers. Yeah, when we go back to this book that Apostle Tahar brought out in his last lesson, Dictionary and Biblical Biblical Archaeology, you know, you see a lot of information in this book. But again, you got to read. You got to have the spirit on you to read. And Jake refused to have that spirit. All right. So this is off of page 182. Page 182. Okay, brothers can see that. Paleo Hebrew. All right. All this is Paleo Hebrew. Okay. And it says on the bottom, it says a diagram comparing the Aramaic script with contemporary Phoenician and Hebrew scripts. Aram's sarcophagus, 1000 BC, Phoenician in a Giza calendar, late 10th century, Hebrew and a Mesha Stele. Yeah, and even in the Mesha Stele, you have which was a stone, a Moabite stone, and it had the name of the Lord on the Mesha Stele, and it talked about how, you know, this Moabite king took down the Israelites. You know, so like, yeah, the Mesha Stele is a lengthy inscription in a Moabite discovered in Debian. And I saw the picture in here. See Moabite stone. Let me see if I can find it. Moabite. Moab. Yeah, the Moabite stone. A basalt slab carrying over 30 lines of written ancient Moabite, because the Moabites, they spoke these Moabites, they spoke Hebrew too. The vast majority of the world spoke Hebrew at one point in time, right? And they even wrote in it. All right, you got the Moabite stone. Let me share this image real quick. All right, and this is beautiful because like Elder Apostle Tahar said, he was in that High Priest Ariah spirit, man, bringing out these different books and yeah, bringing out these different books and sharing this different information. Again, the Moabite stone has Hebrew writing. It's all written in Hebrew. And when you get a closer look at it, I'm just looking for a closer look of the stone, you can actually see the name of the Lord on there. Let me see. This is all ancient Hebrew, all right? At one point in time, these different nations spoke that so-called Chinese, which are Moabites. And here's the name of the Lord, the same symbols that are on the lost lunar stone, Yahweh, the God of the Israelites, Yahweh, all right? And so all of this is in his different books that Esau tried to hide. He'll make the price of the book go up so that the average Jake ain't gonna spend $1,000 on a book. Niggas will spend $1,000 on a pair of shoes, but won't spend $7 on a book to get the right information. So it's a saying: if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book, right? But that's why the scriptures even says, "Blessed is he that readeth." As we go along, this is I also want to share this too. Just bear with me. I want to share this right here. This right here. Okay, this right here. Ancient Hebrew writing too. And it says the Gezer calendar, an inscription in ancient Hebrew script engraved in limestone tablet, 10th century BC. The inscription records an annual cycle of agricultural activities, a replica courtesy of Israel's Department of Antiquities and Museums. And these Edomites that are over there in Israel, they got a lot of our archaeological history hidden. But then again, you'll have people like Vocab Malone says, the Hebrew is made up. The Lashawan Kodash is a made up language, and it's not. This is an ancient language. But what it is, you're not used to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American men bringing this information out. So you scoff at it. So you try to what's the word I want to use? You try to not disannul, but you dismiss it. It says in the calendar, originally the Hebrews had no means of accurate calendrical determinations, marking the passing of time only by references to the lunar or solar months or to the seasons of the year. In patriarchal times, the year may have been reckoned from the spring, but after the Amarna age, it seems to have commenced in autumn. And it says once Canaan had been conquered, the Western Semitic, I guess that's Western Semitic lunar calendar was followed. 1 Kings 4:7. This guy Nate claims that the new moon is during a full moon, but it's not. We follow the lunar calendar. This necessitated a periodic intercalation to make up the difference between lunar and solar years. The influence of the Canaanite names for months is evident from the Solomonic period, where Bull, 1 Kings 6:37, and Ethanim, 1 Kings 8:2, were mentioned. in connection with the dedication of Solomon's temple. These two names appear in Phoenician inscriptions signifying perpetual streams and produce, or perhaps cattle, and show obvious agricultural connections. The designation of the earlier months in the Hebrew calendar did not follow the names found in cuneiform texts from Mari, Ala-Alaka, and Ugarit, though the Phoenician inscriptions contain names that may have been used periodically by Hebrews. So, yeah, man. And this is a great book. You know, Apostle Tahar brought it out. He's like, he says, you're not going to be able to find this book. This book costs $1,000. He was kidding, playing. But just a little bit of folly, but he was right. A lot of these books is really hard to get, and if you ain't get them back in the day, you may not be able to get it today because it costs so much. But this particular book right now is on sale on Amazon for less than less than $10. But it has a wealth of information in it, even color pictures with the same information that we're bringing out. Yeah, right here. You have inscribed decorated seals of the second quarter of the first millennium in Hebrew, Ammonite, Moabite, Phoenician, and Aramaic from the collection of Israel Department of Antiquities. Yeah. And you can see this right here. This is our history. This is our stuff, man. This don't belong to the Edomites. It don't belong to the Ishmaelites. It don't belong to nobody outside of us. And this is our history. Jewelry hoard of early Israelite period from Beth Shemesh. The hoard consists of more than 200 items, including a carnelian, jasper, and gold beads. Yeah. Esau had you thinking we were just living in a dusty, arid land, and it wasn't like that. It became like that over time because of our wickedness, and then because these Gentiles have taken over the land over time. And no one ever asked the question, why is it only Edomites that get to dig into the land and find this kind of stuff, No one ever asks these questions. We do. We look this stuff up. So I just wanted to bring a little bit of this out. I saw the Apostle Tahar did it, and it put the spirit on me, jumped on me to go through it too as well. But yeah, definitely, brothers, invest in this book if you can, while you can. It's a great book. Got a lot of information in it. Let's see what else they got in it real quick before we get out of here. I just want to look up Edom. Let's see what it says about Edom. I don't think it said much in this book. Yeah, Edomites, the land and people later being descended from Edom. Esau, the territory extended from about 160 kilometers from Wadi Zera in the Gulf. The Israelites were refused permission to traverse Edomite territory at the time of the Exodus, and when Joshua divided Canaan up among the Israelite tribes, the borders of Edom remained unviolated. Yeah, but Esau, he violated our borders. It says, for a brief time, the Edomites gained revenge on Judah. 2 Chronicles 2:28 and 17, when Ahaz was ruling. But about 736 BC, Tilgath-Pilser III made Edom a vassal when Judah fell in 587. Some Edomites settled in south of the Hebron, but the next century they came increasingly under Arab control. The Nabateans overran Edom in the 3rd century and assimilated some of the natives into their own culture. Edomite wealth came principally from trading and natural resources. And just like it is today, a lot of these Edomites' wealth come in trading natural resources, just like it did in the ancient world, such as copper and iron, and from imposition of tolls of the caravan trade, So, yeah, again, great book. Check it out, man. Our history is in plain sight. You just got to look at it. So, that's the Shalom. On to the next.